What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
OnlyFans model says, I regret it. I regret the decision to get on OnlyFans, and here is why. About 1 year later. Let's get it.
So it's been a year since I started my OF and my spicy pages, and I just feel super anxious today, and I wanted to just come on here and share some thoughts on my experience so far.
Let's hear it. Sounds like it's coffee to me. I can smell the aromas. They're coming.
Kind of scared to share my actual thoughts, but I just feel the need to say them in case anybody who's following me here has any sort of desire to start this kind of thing. I want to start off by saying that I definitely have a really complicated relationship with this whole thing, and there are things that I appreciate about it and have appreciated about it from the beginning, but if I'm being so honest, there really are so many downsides. I'm trying so hard not to get like super upset while sharing this, but if I'm being honest, my mental health since I've started this has just slowly like been on such a decline. And I would say that it started maybe like honestly probably 7 months ago, where about like maybe 6 months into doing this, about 6 months, I started to get super burnt out. And I think a lot of the people who follow me now on this page are like kind of, you've probably come from like much older videos, with the spicy page or OF like sort of being the topic. And while I did have such a strong start and it was so much fun in the beginning, after getting burnt out, I started to just feel really differently about like the types of messages that I was getting, and quite frankly, just feeling like sort of the effort that I was putting in to it still wasn't, I guess I'm trying to say there's no amount of money really that you can give me at this point, and I'm like willing to admit this now. There's no amount of money that you can give me right now to like make me feel like giving myself away in certain aspects, even if they're just a few photos or whatever online. It almost isn't worth it anymore. It's hard to describe this because I realize that when I have spoken about OF, that, it's typically been in a light where it's like, it's fun, it's art, you make money, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm being so honest, that really is like the only upside to doing it. Like just the ability to very quickly make extra cash. But I think again, like just over the course of a few months of like half a year or so, just going really hard at it, I think I didn't let a lot of like the messages get to me, but I was lying to myself, and I definitely think that it's like really worn on me over time. And it's not to say that I don't have like really good guys on there following me and like monetarily supporting me, even like checking in on me at times where I like, earlier this year I definitely disappeared for a few months, even on here. But even with that, like just realizing that even those people are not people that I would call when I'm having a really hard day just makes it feel just so fake. And I'm not sitting here saying that like I ever got on there to make friends. Let's be honest, it's really just to make money from a bunch of horny men. But I guess I'm just trying to say that just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, or if you've like ever been curious about it,
Right.
There really is just like such a like I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized. And I don't know, like not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of like desire or like attraction to men in general anymore. And that's also because of my personal collective experiences that I've had with like dating like the wrong types of men and things like that.
No, stop. Nope, not going to do that. This has largely to do with your experience on OnlyFans and seeing the choosing to open yourself up to the darker side of horny men out here, right? Don't blame men. Don't blame men.
But I think with this line of work, men, you will never catch a man being more honest and more authentic and more real, and not necessarily in a good way, than they are, and the way that they present themselves to girls who do stuff that I do. I can't even imagine what it's actually like for real life SWs. Like, I'm sure it's like 50,000 times worse for them. Like, at least to a certain extent, there's like a level of protection for me, just given that I'm like behind a screen, right? Like, I'm never actually gonna like see these guys in person.
See how this all of a sudden, guys, I didn't watch this the whole way through. I'm surprised. See how this all of a sudden became a thing about how terrible men are and the honest sides of men. Come on. That's a particular group of men out there. And these aren't like TikTok videos that are published every day on TikTok. That's like a particular group of men who are willing to go on OnlyFans and pay for it.
Or anything like that. But like, seriously, if I had any type of ability to share like the things that people have said, like the things that people have like the nerve to like DM me with, just like how disgusting they are. And also, I can't even count to you how many times the ones who follow me on Instagram, like when I get curious and nosy sometimes, like I'll go look at their profile and they have like a whole girlfriend or a whole wife. And sometimes, even disgustingly enough, they have kids sometimes. It makes me feel so conflicted with doing this. And a part of me just feels so prideful. Like, I feel like yes, it's been a year, not like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but I do still feel like I'm still so deep in it. And I think I'm just being prideful, but I just feel like, and I just don't want to quit, because I'm just not a quitter. Like, I always see things like to the very end, and I won't quit until I'm physically stopped. So I don't know what the point of this rant was, or if I'll even post.
Yo, she just said, here I thought this was like I regret doing OnlyFans video. Oh man.
Women.
Let's keep listening.
But I think I just wanted just to share my thoughts out loud, because I'm like in this really weird point in my life where I'm just so overwhelmed by so many things, and this being like my one creative outlet to or so I thought, to express myself and produce this work that I'm really proud of. I do take a lot of time to go rent these spaces and get certain types of outfits and our lingerie really, and do these shoots and post them, and editing is a whole process, and there are lots of parts that I enjoy, but I think what ruins it is when I really sit down to think about ultimately what the purpose of all this is, and it's really just to visually please a bunch of men who, again, a lot of them are disgusting. I think I wanted to share all this because I've just been switching up a lot of sort of my direction with my Instagram, and I don't really post spicy page related stuff on here.
She must have just turned 28 or 29 or 30. That epiphany might have just hit. I'm curious. I'm going to check to see and verify.
Anymore. And I don't know if I've been sort of exploring the idea of maybe just having my content be focused on, things that I'm actually interested in, which ultimately is not pleasing men in any way, shape, or form. Y'all can keep your money at this point. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, if you made it this long, thanks for listening.
All right. Well, at the end of the day, man, you guys know how I feel about sex work and people who choose. It's do what you want in this life. I still believe that anybody who gets involved in that will ultimately feel a longing of something deeper, will regret what they've done because it's there and it's not going away, and they will be sad and empty. And I think the more women are honest with this, the more women who are on the fence might listen to this and think, you know what, maybe not. And in this case, sounds like epiphany situation. What do you think of this video and how it turned out? Comment down below. After her experience, she's even more disgusted by men in general, which I'm like, well, you're going to the most desperate sect of men, in my opinion, who are willing to pay for OnlyFans content. There are men out here who don't do that shit, who shouldn't be grouped in with those guys. Listen, guys, till next time, I'm out. Peace.